JD, this is my subscriber story. This is Rich, by the way. Gr- growing up in gr- growing up in a wheelchair isn't easy. Because people make assumptions about your 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 in your intelligence, and and to be perfectly honest, that makes the person that made me feel like horseshit, man. But I guess if that's what drew me into wrestling, a fantasy world into which I could escape, and I wouldn't have to deal with the staring, and I wouldn't have to deal with people talking to me like I don't like I didn't have a brain in my head, or whatever like that. I do, but uh, uh, as far as people are concerned, I don't. I didn't when I was growing up. But thankfully, wrestling gave me that out, and yeah, I was one of those goons got that got shafted a bill of goods by by that hypocritical uh um that hypoc that hypocritical SOB Hulk Hogan, and that's what got me into this. But from that, you know, I've got this this I've got this new this four this this 4 year I'm coming up on 4 years on YouTube come March the 16th. It'll mark my 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 4th year on YouTube, and I and about about a year and a half ago, man, I was see I have Verizon for my TV service, and one of the applications is a YouTube app on 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 my TV, and I can what watch YouTube videos, and and a couple of years ago, I I I found you, and at at first, man, my mom was like, you know what? Why you why are you watching this guy, man? And then about a year ago, when you started with the sub stories, I got even more into that, and uh, and about a month and a half ago, when uh you read the subscriber story of Horse 60, you know, about, you remember the one about him, uh, about the soldier being in Iraq, and all that stuff, and how his dad had, how his dad had, whatever his dad had, I can't I can't remember it, but how he told you that in in his how he told you the background of how he told you the background of his story, and how in his how in his darkest time he 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 found you, man, and 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 that and that lifted his spirits, and I would and I would just like to uh let let this let this story end with, well, I hope that I I hope that through me telling you my story, I can kind of, I can I can I can I can kind of raise the profile of my YouTube channel. A mention of the RWA on off the script would would be much appreciated. And by the way, my 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 my, my mother who wasn't that hot with 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 me with with me, listen to you, especially with the kids, my 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 nieces and my nephew in the house. Uh, she saw she she saw that story about about horse horse 60, and you you not only moved her into tears, you that she I I I hooked into I hooked into your channel about about 2 that Friday afternoon, and from 2 to 7, my 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 mom was affected with Horse's story. You know, I know my you might find my story to be not that appealing or not that. But like you say, you might not, but you like you say, we're all going through something, and if my story can help a young handicapped kid, a young uh handicapped kid that whose intelligence is being questioned. I feel like I've done a a good thing by sharing my story. Um, any anyway, uh, and I I would be a Patreon, JD, but I've got expenses, and once all my expenses are paid, I I'm tapped, dude. I mean, all I can do is through word of mouth say, him, look at look at this guy, and the people that I say look at you, and they say, yeah, what's so great about off the script? I don't get it. No, I say you have to start on Friday, and then they come back to me a couple days later, and they said, yeah, we watched one of the subscriber stories, and the subscriber story spoke to me in this way, or and it helped me see things a different way. And I would just like to say to all to to all of to all of your subs now that stories have been read recently, like within the past month of this airing, which is March the 3rd, the date of this airing within the past month. Uh, you, your stories, guys, really moved me, and I and I would just like to say that you 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 guys have a supporter in me, and and JD, if I could ask you a favor, man, you could you call me a goon, and kind of hype up my my new wrestling channel, the uh, the R the R the the R the RWA. I've got I've got uh, like 50 subscribers, but but I'm but I'm go but I'm going like I've got like 4,500 views, but a mention from you, man, would totally explode that. And I think within 1 week, my my view count would double from when you decide to read the story, if you ever do, on Off the Script. Or even if you don't, even if you could just mention my wrestling channel, that would be much appreciated. Anyway, Rich, this is Rich Nicholas, and this is the end of the story, and I'll give you my famous tagline. Rich Nicholas out.